the mandates of the governor is, one of them is chairing the meetings, another one is like raising the issues of the children to the DCS. Yeah. No, we've not been able to implement some of the things simply because of lack of contact among ourselves, the members of the KCA, and lack of information from the DCS. So changes that we need them to be put is, we would like the DCS to improve the forums so that the members of the KCA, we can meet each and every now and then so that we can go and try to make the issues which we promised to do. And I would like the DCI members also to come in a meeting with us so that at least we can get associated with them and know them more. My message to the Kenya Children Assembly is, I would like to tell them that we cooperate together and we try to work hard and to have togetherness, we be together, because when we come together, we'll complete what we started. To the DCS, I would like to tell them that we need them, and with them, if they'll at least they come supporting us, and we want them each and every now and then they come organize forums, and yeah.
I'd highlighted on the topic that we're to discuss right now about the effectiveness of the Kenya Children's Assembly. And today with us we have our child advocates, and we also have children from the Kenya Children's Assembly itself. So today we're going to be asking them a few questions concerning this topic. So let me let them introduce themselves, and then we start the topic. Let me start with you.
Hello, thank you so much, Omar. My name is Brian King. I am a child rights advocate as well as the Eastern African representative for the Pan-African Child-Led Organization.
Asante sana, Brian. Let's go to the our very own Daisy Njoroge. Yes.
Hello, I'm Daisy Njoroge. A KCA leader, speaker in Juro Sub-County, and also a proud child advocate.
A proud child advocate, Sindio.
Yeah.
Let's go to our very own Kakai.
Hello, thank you, Omar. My name is Durian Kakai, Deputy Chairperson of Kenya Children Assembly in Kibra.
Asante sana, Durian Kakai. Now let me start with you, Doreen. You are Deputy Chairperson of Kibra Sub-County, Sindio.
Yes.
So basically, tell us what the KCA, or the Kenya Children's Assembly, is all about for the child who does not know.
Kenya Children Assembly is a platform where children are elected to stand on behalf of other children, whereby adults get to hear children's voice and from a child perspective. Yes.
Asante sana, Doreen Kakai. Now allow me to skip you, Brian. Let's go to Daisy. Now Daisy, can you please try and explain to us the format of the Kenya Children's Assembly? I mean, the leaders you guys have, the structures, maybe the structure you have at the KCA.
Okay. In the KCA, as Doreen has said, it's a child participation kind of thing that helps children to be their own voices. Me as a child. So we have the structure is just as the National Assembly structure, but ours is child-based. So we have the chairperson who leads, let me start from a sub-county level. You have a chairperson who leads the sub-county, and then he'll have his deputy chairperson, and then we'll come to the speaker. The speaker will have the assistant speaker, and then there will be the clerk who will be administering information gotten from the delegates to the speaker, and then the chairperson. And then we'll have the sergeant at arms and his two assistants, the sergeant at arms technically helps out in order of the room, just as the National Assembly way. So it's just like the National Assembly structure, but from a child point of view.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Now let's come to Brian. Now, Brian, today we're talking about the effectiveness of the Kenya Children Assembly. Now, you as an child advocate and the lead of the Pan-African Child-Led East African representative of the Pan-African Child-Led Organization, have you ever felt the effectiveness of working of the Kenya Children's Assembly?
First of all, I think I need to start by saying how effective I thought it was going to be. I was one of the people who was very, I was an extreme pro KCA person. But then again, right now, okay, let me just say how effective I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought in the first month of election of all representatives, they would have met at least twice. After meeting twice, they would have already discussed some of the issues and elaborated some of the issues from each sub-county, from the sub-county level to the county level already. And then after that, I thought they would have already come up with solutions to them. And they would have already come up with a plan or initiative on how to actually formulate this plan. But now we come to how the things are on the ground. No.
Yes.
These guys have met, I think, twice. In the elections, in Boma and I don't know where else.
Yeah, we had like 2 meetings.
Yes, they've met twice. They are yet to elect our president. That is, they are yet to unite the KC officially in all 47 counties. They are yet to do that. They are yet to do anything that is actually important. They are yet to do anything important or not.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about efficiency and the effectiveness of KCA, right now it is just a body, a puppet body.
Okay.
Allow me to say a puppet body, a body infiltrated by adultism, a body controlled by the adults. In fact, they're just there for the photos. I don't know what else they do. Yeah.
Well, asante sana Brian for speaking quite openly. I love the openness. Let's come to Kakai. Now Kakai,
yes.
Now Brian has said that you guys are puppets and you guys are puppet body by the government. So is there anything that you guys as the KCA, maybe to counter what Brian is saying, is there anything you as the KCA have done to be able to at least fight children's rights, or is there maybe an initiative you've ever come up with?
First and foremost, let me first support Brian.
Okay.
Because, let's start with this. Remember, I am a child,
yes.
right? And I don't have communications. I don't have someone who can lead me or who can guide us on what's next, right? When we were elected, as Brian has said, I had a lot of expectation on what we are going to do. I thought there's a lot of work for us to be done. But when we were elected, I didn't see any of this. Why? Because first, I read the structure of KCA, and they said they will be swearing in. And since we were elected, we have never been sworn in. I don't know why. And we went with Evans, my chairperson, to the chiefs, to the children offices. Yeah. When we went there, we were given excuses, and one of it was that I don't know, the person who we were supposed to ask the questions was not there. So we went again, and then we were told, let's wait for a month until, I don't know, for the election thing to come down or something. So we were not able to do anything according that supports children, because we don't have anything, let me say that, to start with. Because I'm a child, I don't have communication with my chairperson. How are we gonna work?
Oh yeah, very true.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying that the KCA or maybe the children officers there have not provided you guys with a platform maybe to meet and do all that. But you guys personally have tried to go to these offices.
Yes.
That's actually really good. That's what we children advocates stand for. Thank you so much. Let me come to Daisy. Now Daisy, Brian said that you guys are a puppet, like a show. Anyway, so what have you guys done maybe as the Kenya Children Assembly, or you maybe as the speaker, to show that you're trying to fight maybe for the children's rights?
First of all, I can support him bila amesema.
Okay.
We are lakini sitatumia the word puppets.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of offensive. Because it's like they're just driving us around. And in fact, I don't even know that government. So using the word puppets is not really right.
Okay.
What I can just say, we're just there for show, I guess.
Yeah.
Because as KCA, even me when I joined KCA, my mentality was, first of all, like my first vision, ambition, was to first go to, yes, I've been to the national, parliament and whatever, but I thought from a perspective of, okay, I'm seated there as the speaker and I'm listening to my delegates there. But right now, penyadi tumefika,
Yes.
Leave out even speaking about the government, and yet Giona get your parliament, speaking out about even visiting that place, or even having, leave out, yes, we've had regional education and security people coming like over during our meetings, not even meetings, ni kama elections zenye kwa tunafanya. Despite them, we've not had somebody from the National Assembly coming to us and hearing what we have to say, because as Doreen had said, it's a platform that we have to speak and be our own voices as kids. But we've not been given that platform because there's a lot of adultism there.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a lot of adultism because we first start from the, and I'm sorry to accuse you guys, but it starts from the DCS office.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts from the DCS office, coming to the people who have been given the platform and the responsibility to take care of us, our chaperones.
Wow.
So they bring out their own issues, telling us to discuss them, not allowing us to get the information from a child's perspective, and not even giving us the platform to talk about what we want. The meetings that we had, as Brian had asked, we only had 2 meetings. I'll kind of call them 3. The first one, I got it from the sub-county level when we were doing our elections. The second one was during the county elections. And the third one was during a meeting that was held by World Vision.
Wow.
And it was not all KCA members who attended. It was just some few selections that attended the meeting that was at Boma Hotel. Okay, it's kind of a situation that we are discussing issues that concern adults instead of issues concerning children. Yeah.
Well, asante sana Daisy for those inputs. Now, this actually makes me feel so proud about Mtoto News because our core DNA is child participation. So at this point in time, we're taking a short break here at Mtoto News Insights, but don't go too far. We're still continuing with the discussion, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Mtoto News Insights. Before we took a break, we were talking about the Kenya Children Assembly and its effectiveness. So today we're not only talking about the KCA, we're talking about leadership also in general. So Brian, you're the East African representative of the Pan-African Child-Led Organization, Sindio. You've called Akina KCA puppets, right? What about you? Are you guys puppets or do you guys actually do things?
Okay, first of all, I think I have to correct the fact that you said puppets. I did not mean the children are puppets. I meant the organization as the body of KCA is a puppet.
Now
what did I mean by puppet? I mean that what they do basically is that they are controlled to an extreme level. I mean, the point of creating the KCA was to give them legislative action, meaning that they can be able to make decisions on behalf of children, right? Be involved in the formulation of laws, budgetary processes, and even bill-making processes, right? But they are not. And Daisy and Doreen are very right. It is not their fault. It is the office of the Director of Children's Services. By the way, we are very disappointed in you guys. You are not doing your job. Your main job is to protect the child. And one of the core values in protecting the child is giving them a voice.
Like child participation.
Yes, child
basically, mainly they're doing, the adults are the ones controlling them, right? Basically. So the question that I'm asking is, does it also apply to your Pan-African Child-Led Organization?
I love that you brought PACLO into this because it does happen to PACLO as well. PACLO, even though it's trying to be independent, is still parented by another organization because it is an organization of children. We cannot register an organization on our own. Now, does adultism actually interfere with this? Yes, it does. Because sometimes when we're trying to exercise our executive duty in trying to connect the African child, we are hindered. And you know what they do for PACLO? It's not like the DCS where they'll tell them, don't do this, and they won't. Now for PACLO, they know we will do that even if they tell us not to. So they control and manipulate our funding a bit, you see? I mean, if funding is removed, we cannot connect ourselves. So adultism is something that is affecting organizations that are controlled by children, whether locally or even internationally.
So that means basically that what I'm getting from this, and maybe most of the viewers, is that the children are not getting a proper time to participate in their leadership.
No, they're not. And I guess we even introduced the new term adultism. Adultism is where the views of children are manipulated and changed to fit the interests of the adults, right? Like a child, like children want better healthcare services, right? An adult might change that so that it may be appealing to politicians, saying maybe cheapen the health. But but we wanted free health. You see, what I'm trying to say is adultism is where the children views are contaminated with adults' perspective. Yeah.
Asante sana Brian for those inputs. Let's come to Kakai. Now Kakai, what do you think maybe should be done for you guys to be able to other than doing the meetings, what do you think should be done for you guys to maybe meet and talk about these issues? Or what do you think should be given to you guys? Is it funding so that you guys can be able to do at least a project on helping children somewhere in Kenya?
The government formed Kenya Children Assembly so that the children can advocate for their own rights.
Yes.
Now they're supposed to give us facilities on how we can work together. They need to make sure that we guys find time so that you can talk about children's problem, and also children's can be heard. We cannot just do that without funding or stuff. They're supposed to allocate funds for Kenya Children Assembly so that the children can be independent, so that when we've decided let's do this project to bring up awareness on something, we just can't say we need funding. So the government should allocate funds and then should give us also facilities. Like for example, here at Mtoto News, we have room for meetings. Right now, we're supposed to have also room whereby Kenya Children Assembly can come and say, let's meet.
And talk about the issues here. Cindy?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Durian Kakai, for those inputs. Now, let me come to Daisy. Now, Daisy, what do you think can be done for you guys to be able to do your work effectively as the Kenya Children's Assembly?
First of all, what you can do as the Kenya Children Assembly, we can first invite, wherever we come from, we first invite the people who are in the National Assembly. That's the first step to take, so that unaweza kuta hadi kuna MCAs and MPs who don't know about KCA. So we first invite them over, come and know about KCA from their own sub-counties, their constituencies. They learn about KCA, so that we'll have a bigger platform of talking to them about our problems. Because if KCA leaders won't listen to us, we can directly go to the leaders themselves, because we have the MPs, the MCs. We can go directly to them and tell them the problems the children face from where we come from. And we can also, as children, after we've discussed with the MPs, MCs, we can bring up a meeting that will meet as kids, not only the KCA leaders, but other children who have different perspectives. Because me as a child, I need to be in school, so I won't have that much time to interact with other kids in other places. So having a platform that me as the leader, I'll come and tell the problems that I know about, and bring up other kids also. They'll speak of their own issues from their own perspective, because it's a child thing.
Okay, so basically you guys need a platform, Sindio?
Yeah.
Asante sana. Let's come to Brian, as we are coming to the end of Total News Insights, not Total Podcast. Anyway, Brian, there's the issue of letting the private school students join the Kenya Children Assembly, and I understand you're not part of the KCA. So do you think this might be a good idea?
I do not understand what you're saying, because KCA is not for the public school children. It's the Kenya Children's Assembly. And unless the children going to private schools are not children, I don't think there's an issue there.
You see, there's this issue that the Kenya Children Assembly, is formed by the government, and the government uses now the public schools. So how do you think maybe we can maneuver with that?
Well, I do not think it's proper to only think that I think, Daisy, you're in a private school.
Yeah.
And so I don't think the notion that is going around that only children who are in public schools are actually part of KCM. You mentioned the government, but the government is for all children. KCA, I don't know about the recruitment measures, but I think it should be open to all children. Every child should be allowed to be able to at least enter and compete into the Kenya Children's Assembly leadership positions, so that we may get proper representation, not just for children in the slums, but children in the states, children in the northern areas, children in the cities, and children in the rural areas as well.
Thank you so much, Brian. Let's now come to Kakai, right? Kakai, maybe your final words, maybe to the government, to the DCS, about you guys being led to participate.
My final word to the government is, first, let all of us be responsible. We've elected the leaders. Now let's all of us take the responsibility of following up. Is everything at place and it's everything working? Let's all of us work as a team. Let us not work as adult only, as you said, adultism or something. Let's just work as a team and let's focus on what's the main point in KCA.
Asante sana, Doreen. Let's come to Daisy as we are wrapping this up. Daisy, maybe your final words to the DCS, to the government of Kenya about letting you people be able to participate and, like you said, have a platform.
On the question that you had asked Brian of KCA being a platform for only public school students, I don't really understand where that thing came from, because from my perspective, they were picking out kids from the information was brought to the chief's office, and then the volunteers from the chief's office are the people who are coming around picking out children who will go and race for the leadership seats. So they were getting any child from any kind of level, either you're from a private school, a public school, an international school if they were there. So it's a platform that allows each and every student from any school to take part in. So it's not a public school thing. You may even find there are students in there that are from private schools but have been given the platform. And my final word to the DCS is, first of all, they should be ready to engage with kids, because I realize that they are not really engaging themselves with kids. Their main point of view of having us there is, sorry to say this, to be paid. Definitely they are volunteers. They came from a volunteer perspective, but they are abusing that voluntarily seat or that chair that they have. They are abusing it in a way that because they need me as a child, that's their way of earning. So they don't give us a platform to talk about our problems.
I'm so glad to have you guys here as our children advocate and giving us these wise words. Thank you so much for coming, actually. So be sure to keep the conversation flowing at our social media platforms at Mtoto News, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also find us on TikTok. We also have a beautiful website at www.mtotonews.com. You can also find me at all social media platforms at Omar Hamed 83. But for now, we say goodbye.